Hello there, everyone. Welcome to Blue Jackets. It's a fun Blue Jackets themed podcast. My name is Kevin, and joining me tonight, as always, is my co-host Hefty Doc. And like we always do, we invite people to come on the show. So if they do, that's okay. If not, there's always next time. We got some stuff to talk about. There's a lot of stuff going on in the Blue Jackets world. They played 3 games since our last show, and we're going to talk about that. They lost 2 of them, but they got a big win against the Tampa Bay Lightning 3-2, and we're going to talk about that. Kirill Marchenko has made Blue Jackets history. We're going to talk about that. And we have some Big Ten hockey jerseys to talk about. We're going to review those. And we got some highlights to show from Blue Jackets prospect Caden Lindstrom and Blue Jackets prospect Jackson Smith. They got their first ever college goals, both for Penn State and Michigan State. And we got so much more to talk about. So let's get going here. Welcome to the show, everyone.
And welcome back. Hockey season is officially in full swing. There's so much to talk about this now. It's pretty great. Unfortunately, there is some bad to talk about, whilst there's some good. But this last weekend, we got to do some cool stuff. Me and Kevin did.
Mm-hmm.
I say weekend, but really it was Monday. I get Mondays off, so for me it's the weekend. I know it's Columbus Day for everyone else. But yeah, it was fun. We got to go down to Columbus.
But first, we gotta get to this, like I always do.
Oh yeah. I forgot a couple of things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share wherever you're at. Check out our YouTube channel. We are growing that here surely but steadily. Also, if you want to listen to us, maybe if you want to listen on your way to work or something, check us out anywhere you can find podcasts. We're Spotify, Google, Apple, wherever you get podcasts. We are. I think we're on YouTube podcast too. Check it out. If you would like to support us, that is the easiest way, is to just do a little like or a little share. We appreciate all the viewers out there.
That's right. So,
is there anything else I'm missing? Do you want to jump into it?
Yeah, we'll just jump into it. So, first off, I would like to share this, which is it was a good little weekend there for Ohio sports. We're gonna put this up on the screen here. So the Blue Jackets, Ohio State, the Crew, the Bengals, and the Browns all won this weekend, and it was awesome. So a great little stretch there for Ohio sports. So shout out to the Blue Jackets, Ohio State, Crew, Bengals, and Browns for all getting wins this past weekend.
Hell yeah. Pretty awesome to see. You know, it's kind of a rarity these days.
Yeah.
I mean, the Browns are like 2-4 now or something.
Yeah. Not good, unfortunately.
Yeah. That's the way she goes. Yeah. At least the Buckeyes just destroy everyone they go up against.
God, it's laughable, and it's so bad that they really, outside of like Michigan, they really have no competition. It's just like, what are we doing here?
And Michigan almost seems like it's like a nerves thing or something. Like that team only studies Ohio State their entire season.
Yeah. Yep.
That's just the way it feels like. It's their championship game, because they're probably not going to be in it.
No, probably not. But so I just think that's cool, and we can have that many Ohio sports teams win all in one weekend. Stuff like that doesn't happen a lot because usually one of these teams probably loses, and so you don't get it. But when it does happen, it's just awesome. So shout out to the Blue Jackets, Ohio State crew, Bengals, and Browns for getting it done, getting wins this weekend.
Hell yeah. I got a couple of small little news tidbits here.
Get in there.
As many of us saw, Miles Wood got a stick to the face in Monday's home opener. And he's going to be out at least, he's not going to be able to play against Dallas on Tuesday right now. He could be out for up to a week. It sucks. Eric Branson has also been put on the IR ever since he was hit by Marcus Foligno in the game against the Wild. And that's unfortunate. It's rough seeing injuries this early in the season, as shit's gonna happen. It's hockey. It's never gonna be injury free. But it sucks to see. But in the meanwhile, Dyson Mayo has been called up from the Cleveland Monster to be a seventh defenseman, and he may or may not take the ice at some point. Someone might need a break here or there. Have you heard much about how Cleveland's doing so far this season? I heard that they won their first 2 games or something.
Yes, and then they had their first 2 home games and lost both.
Gotcha. Well, can't win them all. So yeah, that's just a little news stuff. I don't really have anything else kind of like that right now.
So
everything else is kind of game related or a little bit deeper topics to talk about.
I'll start off with this. So, of course, the Blue Jackets every year have certain type of theme nights, and there's like jersey packages that you can get with that, where you pay money and you get a jersey. And Jeff Savoda posted pictures of what they're going to look like. So, for example, this is probably my favorite one. This is the military night one, and it's just outstanding. It legit looks like what, the Union Army would wear during the Civil War. It's got the buttons on it, and like the little belt buckle thing, and the Kepi logos on it, and the Cannon, third jersey Cannon logo on it. And I really like that light blue. It really pops on the dark blue, and I just love it. This is just awesome. Probably my favorite one that they have for this season.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
I like those a lot. I mean, I totally understand why they're kind of exclusive to the military members this year. It'd be really cool if they do something kind of similar. I mean, personally, with this whole thing, I would love a sweatshirt kind of like that or something, just because, I don't know, that'd be cool. I like how it is as a jersey. I'm not, I guess, the biggest fan of how the V collar. It's just my personal style and opinion.
Yeah.
I prefer the crew neck, round collars.
Yeah.
Except for on the actual jerseys, I think the older style jerseys have the crew neck. It's kind of like a rounded collar, but once again, it's just a personal preference. I like those a lot. And is that the Hawaiian shirt next to it?
Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. So we got the Stinger one. We got the Superman one.
I mean, I kind of love the Stinger one and kind of hate it at the same time.
Yes.
It would really annoy me to see a whole arena full of green. At the same time, it's so goofy and ridiculous. I kind of love it.
Yes.
I wish the cuffs weren't red, but I kind of get it. Stinger's eyes are red.
Yeah. We've reviewed Stinger themed jersey concepts for the Blue Jackets, and they are just god awful. This is one where it's done, in my opinion, right, because it's not so bad and the green is just not so aggressive in your face. This is done right. You have good color contrast with the green and the blue and then the little red down there. It's not so bad.
Hell yeah.
So there's that.
The Superman one's cool. I'm not super into superheroes.
Yeah.
I wonder how many more times I can say super in one sentence.
Yeah.
But it's cool
Let's
for what
see.
it is.
We got Grateful Dead Night jersey and the Star Wars jersey. So they're okay, you know.
Yeah, like the R2D2 one, like I get it. It's pretty cool. It's another thing that's like, I don't know how to say this. I don't mean any offense to anyone by this. It's just not my thing. Star Wars is cool. Like I do like it, I guess. But I don't know. I don't know what it has to do with hockey. To be fair, I do like the Margaritaville nights and everything else. And they do a Grateful Dead night like every year, which
okay.
is the Grateful Dead like super popular still? I'm not even trying to rag on them or anything. Like I don't know much about them.
I don't.
I mean, it looks cool. It's cool excuse to get a tie-dye jersey, I guess. But you know,
so
doesn't
I'm
seem
just
very
gonna I'm just gonna say this. You know, Blue Jackets. If you want to do like a hockey jersey theme with a band, I don't know. Just look in your own hometown, your own backyard. 21 Pilots who they're from Columbus and they're famous and they're good at music and they're big Blue Jackets fans. In my opinion, I think that would probably do better than, Grateful Dead. But then I don't know, maybe I could be right or wrong on that. But you get like a 21 Pilots themed jersey with the Blue Jackets logo on it. I think that would
people who don't like the Blue Jackets or don't even know them would buy it.
yes.
Almost guarantee.
Like I would, I think that would go well. You get a 21 Pilots themed Blue Jackets jersey with 21 Pilots logo with the Blue Jackets logo, and that would go good, in my opinion, because you're getting a band from a band that's from Columbus. They're popular, they're famous, and they like the Blue Jackets. But that's besides the point. We do have some comments here. First, shout out to Owen, friend of the show. Let's go, Owen. Love talking to you, hanging out with you on the Discord and seeing you in Columbus. Owen says, I want that Stinger jersey, that Stinger sweater. So I get that. So we'll put this back up on the screen here so we can see what, Owen's talking about. So let's see here. See, there it is. That's the jersey that Owen wants. Owen wants the Stinger sweater. So there we go.
Got a couple more comments here too.
So we got
hi Owen, nice seeing you.
Yeah. So, but shout out to Owen for watching the show. Thanks for the comment. Maybe we can have you back on sometime.
Hell yeah.
But we have
Cocoa Puff Games saying I'd love a 21 Pilots CBJ collab.
That's
and
right.
Then to continue that thought, he has another comment down here that says, I didn't even realize 21 Pilots were from Columbus until the Stadium Series.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest bands out there right now, as far as I'm aware. I'm not super into pop culture, which we'll talk about that in Jason's comment in a little bit. But it would be sick. It would be relevant.
Yeah.
It would be connecting with people in the area.
Yeah.
I'm not dissing the organization. I love most of everything they do, but gotta look at it sometimes. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for joining us, Cocoa Puff Games.
That's right.
Then we got Jason here.
Jason, friend of the show. Maybe we'll get you to come on sometime.
So he commented that the Grateful Dead, Star Wars, and comics have a cult following. That's why they do those. Yeah, absolutely. I totally understand that. What if I always love the first responders and the military nights because those are connecting with people on a local level. Um, those three things that you mentioned, yeah, they're going to be great sellers almost anywhere you go because there is that cult following. It just seems also in a way kind of like a money grab because you're guaranteed to make money if you slap a Marvel character on it or DC or whatever. The Grateful Dead one's pretty cool. I mean, I get that they were very, very popular a lot, and the Jerry Bears are a huge hit with that. I've done quite a few Jerry Bear tattoos. But yeah, I mean, it'd be cool to see a genuine local connection on like a bit.
Yeah.
And to continue that thought, Jason says absolutely a money grab. Yeah,
Yeah.
just the way it is. I get it. They're corporations. I mean, money's got to be made. You got to make it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And back to Owen.
Owen says I'll have time to get back on here in November. Perfect. We look forward to seeing
Awesome.
you then, Owen.
That'll be pretty sick.
And I'm going to add something to this. Is I did not know about 21 Pilots until 2021. I did not know about 21 Pilots until 2021, until I was working with the Blue Jackets and Marcus Stevenson from the Blue Jackets marketing department at the time, who, the Blue Jackets, they've done 3 Union Blue Soldiers marches with me. They've done 2021, 2022, and 2023. But back in 2021, when I was working with Marcus Stevenson from the Blue Jackets marketing department with the march, one of the ideas that the marketing department had was to get Nasher, Alexa Bliss, and 21 Pilots to come to the march. And none of them, unfortunately, were able to come, but it was that idea. And then that kind of really planted the seed of, 21 Pilots, that's cool. And then Cocoa Puff Games here, once they performed at the Blue Jackets outdoor game, I really kind of started listening to some of their music, and I do like some of their stuff. And it's like, yeah, that's cool that, hey, a band like that's popular and people like their music and they're from Columbus and they like the Blue Jackets. That's cool. So that's what I kind of learned about 21 Pilots there. Admittedly, I'm not really that much into music, so I probably wouldn't know much about music to begin with, but that's when I kind of learned about it because most of the stuff I follow is mostly sports, but that's besides the point. So that's cool. So I'm just going to say one last time, I think it'd be cool, if you're doing a Grateful Dead jersey, let's have a jersey where it's like a Blue Jackets themed jersey with 21 Pilots because they're from Columbus. They're good, they're famous, good music, and they like the Blue Jackets. So we'll just throw that one out there. Last thing we're going to talk about before we get going here to the more, serious stuff is, put this up on the screen. So I just would like to say a big thank you to everyone who showed up to the most recent march that Union Blue Soldiers did, which was for the Blue Jackets home opener on Monday, October 13th, 2025. Just want to thank a big shout out to everyone, a big thank you to everyone who came to the march that I did with Union Blue Soldiers. We always have a great time marching on the Nationwide Arena to cheer on the Blue Jackets, getting a big group of people to come together to show support for the Blue Jackets. It was a lot of fun. I was there, Hefty Duck was there, and a whole bunch of other people, including Adam King from 10 TV, who showed up and put it on TV. So thank you, Adam King from 10 TV, for showing up and putting the march on TV. And a big shout out to everyone who came to the march, and a big thank you to everyone who came to the march that I did for Union Blue Soldiers this past October 13th, 2025, before the Blue Jackets home opener. A lot of fun bringing people together to show support for the Blue Jackets.
Yeah, that was a fun time. It was great seeing everyone out there. I had a fun time passing out all those hockey cards. If you're listening or watching and you got one of those hockey cards, take a photo of it. Let me know what you got and tag us on Twitter or something.
Right.
Let us know. I'm curious. I mean, I know a lot of people were pretty happy about getting the cards and the one I gave Jason, commented earlier. I don't even remember the name, but it was someone who neither of us had ever really heard of or knew play for him, and we're not the epitome of. I don't know. Jason is much more of an expert than I am, but it's kind of weird that we're so entrenched in the Blue Jackets and Blue Jackets lore, and weren't 100% sure on who this guy was. But
This is who
there was
Jason.
one I kept. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Jason says it's the guy who he got was Trevor Fishman. Fishman.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I don't remember where it went.
So.
But yeah, I interesting. I got that pack of cards over at Rally House, and they're pretty cool. I mean, it's called like a favorite team pack, so they're all just Blue Jackets cards. I think I'm gonna do that for next year as well. The hockey cards thing last 2 seasons ago was fun, but the on brand Blue Jackets is kind of cooler. But yeah, if you're out the march, we appreciate you for stopping by. I know there was a couple of strangers who kind of saw us gathering and joined as well. That was pretty cool to see. It was a fun time, shouting and hollering, waving some flags around.
That's right. So I'm gonna put this up on the screen. So this to prove that yes, it was on 10 TV. So shout out to Zoran, one of the many people who come to our march every year. So here it is. We're gonna put it up on the screen. So here it is.
And while this is playing, because there's not much audio, I'm just going to talk a little bit. You guys have been hearing us talk about these comments we're getting. If you'd like to talk about something or leave a comment for us, we get the ones on YouTube a little bit quicker than we do from the ones from Twitter for whatever reason. Ones from Twitter seem to take like 2 or 3 minutes. So anyway, if you would love to derail one of our conversations, we will do that. If you have something cool to say or something to think about or discuss, you can be nice, you can be mean. I don't give a shit. I'll be mean back. I'm okay with that. But yeah, this was such a fun time. Got that cool banner this year, man. That thing's sick.
Mm-hmm. See,
Big old banner.
Zoran always comes in with good banners. He always does.
If you look back left of Captain Blue Jacket, I had a blue sign. I was kind of holding it in front of my face. Not that didn't want to be on TV, but kind of didn't want to be on TV. Even though it was really cool. You can still this is cool. So we're coming across the bridge here from our bar to the arena. And who's that walking to you with you on the right? Your right?
That would be I'm.
Okay.
Good guy. I like him.
Yeah.
Big Blue Jackets fan, and someone had to do the bullhorn to call out the chants, and so
I loved the addition of the bullhorn. I was going to say something about that. That absolutely made me laugh a little bit, but it was cool. Everyone could hear you.
Well, we had the bullhorn last year, but this year I wanted to make more use of it. So someone right next to me had the bullhorn, and I said CBJ. He said CBJ to amplify it. I said, let's go Jackets. He said, let's go Jackets to amplify it. And it was just awesome.
It was a good time had by all. Got a couple a whole array of jerseys around here, though. I love Captain Blue Jacket too. Dude
Yeah.
does that for every game. It's pretty impressive. Uh, if you're watching us and somehow don't know who that is because we're a little bit niche, Captain Blue Jacket, he sits behind the home bench every season.
Yeah.
He has silver paint and does like the Ohio flag kind of type thing, and then he's got a shield. It's basically like Captain America, but instead of America, he uses the same colors. He just does like a Blue Jackets theme to it, which is pretty
Yeah.
neat.
He's-
Those kids look enthused for being on TV. That's pretty cool. Oh yeah, yep. I see me right back there.
yeah. But
I'm to the
like,
left, right to the left, just to the right of the guy in the red hat,
mm,
to the left of the bald guy.
yeah.
See that?
But
Yeah, somewhere in there.
But just to see how deep it was, we had people going way back there.
Oh yeah. And yeah, because like as soon as we started moving too, like anyone else that was like around, we're just like, oh yeah, let's go, let's join in this.
Yeah.
And that's what's cool about these marches. It's just absolutely open to the public. I mean, why wouldn't it be? But um, people just joining in. That's the point. That's for us. That's part of what
That's
hockey
that's
brings us all together.
that's what that the marches that I've done for now 11 years with Union Blue Soldiers. This is what it's about. It's about bringing people together to show support for the Blue Jackets. That's what it's about. And every year, it keeps getting bigger and bigger and better and better. So much to the point it's been on TV multiple times. The Blue Jackets have done it. It's been on the scoreboard at Blue Jackets games and so much more. So it's a lot of fun. One
And
last,
yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
continue. Oh, you can play it. You can play it. I'll talk a little bit
Yeah,
about it yet too. Um, not to mention just this, the entire pregame celebration, like out front and everything, like around the arena, was a pretty cool setup by the Blue Jackets. I mean, I have a video. I'll have to find it and post it of me like walking up, like from the road. I was walking up to it, the front of the building, and there was a concert going on. There's tons of people over at the brewery place and there's a bunch of stuff to do. There's like games for kids, games for adults. You can
yeah,
see a little bit of it in this video too, somewhat. As we get further down towards the arena from like the stairs there, you'll see some stuff on the left side that was part of the whole celebration. Um, and it was just really neat atmospheres, great time. We don't have to talk too much about the loss.
no,
But yeah, if you see it here, I don't know how big your screens are if you're watching on your phone, sorry, but in the top right here corner here, you can see the news anchors in front of like those tents,
yeah,
and that's where a lot of the activities
yeah.
were at.
So
And it was
I'm
a pretty
gonna.
cool time. We'll be back there next year for the home opener again. Don't
That's
forget,
right.
mark your calendars.
This is. But this is the event that this is the like I said, this is the event that you want to go to before the Blue Jackets home opener. You really do. You want to go to this event. It's a lot of fun. If you missed it, too bad, but that's okay because there'll be another one and you can join that one. So this is really the event that you want to go to before the Blue Jackets home opener. We get about 50 to 100 people that show up. People, Blue Jackets fans, all walks of life, that all come together and cheer on the Blue Jackets. And it's a lot of fun, and you should come to this. And you know what? There's a good chance that you're probably going to be on TV just like this time. So it's a lot of fun. So put it on your calendar. Join Union Blue Soldiers for the march before the Blue Jackets home opener. It's a lot of fun. One last time, I'm going to play it with the sound on so you can actually hear it, and then we'll get on to the games. So we'll turn it up, and here we go.
There's no audio, but I can definitely read your lips what you're saying there. It's a CBJ for those of you not watching the video, listening to us or whatever. But pretty sick time. Be there next year. Anyway,
Almost done. Then we'll get there.
say what?
Almost done. Then we'll get there.
Right on. You can see the time in the bottom corner of the news too. We started right on time, or damn near it. It's pretty good.
All right, so that's that. There's another video that Hefty Duck posted from the march. I'll show that later.
Oh, did I?
You did on the show's Twitter page.
Oh, right. I mean, you can show it now if you want. We're just talking about the opening night.
Why not? Okay, we'll do it.
It'll be easy to find.
Yeah, it'll be easy to find. So you know what?
And yeah, it was cool meeting some people there. I met some new people, some people I'd seen last year a few times. Over the past couple seasons. It's nice seeing some familiar faces down there now. I mean,
Okay, so I'll put this up
definitely
on the
pretty cool.
screen. This
Oh,
one,
yeah.
this has a lot more sound. So we'll play with the sound first, and then we can say stuff.
Yours. Oh, it says you're muted. Unfortunately, I don't hear. We don't hear any sound down below the screen here. If you.
All right, well, there it is. Oh, wow. But no, this is another fun video that After Dark posted.
This is like right before we started marching, so I'm in the middle of the crowd here. At this point, I'd already. It took me like maybe 5-10 minutes to pass out all those cards. Like, I mean, I had quite a few of them. I was a little bit surprised, but everyone I was standing around, I was giving them out to and whatnot. Those people that were to my right, I told them, I was like, "What?" They're like, "What is this?" I'm like, We're just marching to the building. If you join us, I'll give you some cards." I gave them a couple cards and whatnot. And yeah, fun times were had by all.
That's right. So that is that is cool. So that is, well, why not? One more time. We'll play it one. So overall, this is pretty cool. So this is the last time we'll play the video. Then we'll get going to the games and other stuff. You know, I will say this though. I was not expecting 10 TV to show up to the march. I just wasn't. Like I tagged like 10 TV and ABC6 News and like Adam King and Kellyanne Stitz and Dave Holmes and other people from the Columbus media about the march. Hey, if you're looking for a story idea, come join us for the march. And some people would like the tweet, but it didn't really, not a lot of traction. So I just kind of figured, well, it's not going to happen this time. Well, at least I tried. And then the day of the march, I'm sitting in our bar hanging out. And then I look out the window and I see 10 TV there. I'm like, whoa, what are they doing there? So I quickly got out of our bar and went there. And both my mom and dad are there. And, you know, they're like, oh, 10 TV is here. They want to do the march. I'm like, oh, okay. So they did exactly that. So shout out to Adam King from 10 TV for coming to the march and putting it on TV. And one last time, thank you to everyone who came to the march. And this is the event before the Blue Jackets home opener that you want to go to. So join Union Blue Soldiers for the home opener, for the march before the Blue Jackets home opener. This is the event that you want to go to for all Blue Jackets fans as we all come together to show support for the Blue Jackets. It's a lot of fun. and you may be on TV.
Hell yeah, it's a fun time.
So, anyways, we'll let this video finish out, and then we'll get going to the next thing to talk
Yeah,
about.
we got
All right.
we got some fun stuff to talk about
Oh,
and some maybe not so fun stuff with
right
these
back.
games.
Okay, so we got to get going. We got to talk about the 3 games that the Blue Jackets have played. So we start off with the home opener against the New Jersey Devils, and that was a very blah game for me. And the reason for this is that, all right, so you start out good. That was a 9 out of 10 first period. The only bad thing is you gave up a goal there. But other than giving up the goal there, it was a good first period, a good start. Other than giving up the goal there, you played good. You had some chances. You just couldn't get it done. Second period, you score. You scored a goal. That was good. You got one. Got a goal there, so that was good. But then you gave up 2 there. You gave up another one. It was just kind of blah. And then the third period, you're down. You're down. You're down 3-1, and you do get a goal to make it 3. You do get a goal there to make it 3-2. No, you're down 2-1. You give up a goal to make it 3-1. You do score a goal to make it 3-2 because the third goal happened and people started leaving. And then shortly after that, the Blue Jackets scored. It's like, well, hang on, it's not quite over yet, which is why I'm of the belief that you never, ever, ever leave until the clock hits 0. It doesn't matter. The Blue Jackets could be losing 6-0. They could be winning 6-0. You don't leave until the clock hits 0 because it's not over till it's over. You don't know what's going to happen. So I bet the people that left after that third goal kind of felt bad at what happened.
Yeah, it was nice to at least give the fans something else to cheer for too, because things were kind of going rough at certain points in the game. Not to
And,
like super dwell on it, but
yeah.
sorry, continue.
And another thing I just didn't like is you know what you're being too cutesy, too cute. You're just trying to force plays where it's not. I remember sitting in my seat during the game. By like the third or fourth time, you tried doing a play, passing the puck to the middle of the ice, trying to make a play there, and it just wasn't working. The Devils, they just kept picking it off and it went the other way. And whatever offensive momentum you had, it was gone. It was done. And by that time, by the third or fourth time, I'm just thinking to myself, like, okay, guys, we can't keep doing that. It's not working. You got to try something else here. Attack a different way because it just wasn't working. And,
Yeah.
the second goal that the Devils get, well, actually, the third goal is an empty net goal. But
Yeah.
the 2 of the goals that they scored, one was a power play goal, and it happens because you can't get it out.
I think they both were.
Both of them were. Both of
Yeah.
them were power play goals, but the one of them was the first one because you can't get it out,
Yeah.
and it's just like you just can't do that. You can't if you don't get it out, you're going to get scored on, and that's exactly what happened. And then the second one happened because, in my opinion, they had a chance to score shorthanded. It was too aggressive, in my opinion, because it kind of like a 3-on-1 thing, and you know, to a couple passes to Fantilli, he doesn't get it, and it's just too aggressive because then it left the Blue Jackets defensively very wide open, very easily exploitable, and that's what happened. It left a 2-on-1 the other way. And then Jack Greaves is basically left to hung out to dry. Devils shoot and score. And then, there wasn't really a lot of effort on the empty. They pulled the goalie, really not a lot of effort to score there. They score shortly after that. That kind of made it easy there. Blue Jackets do score there, the extra goal there, so that was good. But just overall, that was a very blah game there. And it was just, like that that could have been better. I look back at that day and say, at least the march I had that day, that was good. That was fun. And then just a blah game from the Blue Jackets. So that some good moments, but overall there was blah, and it needed to be better.
Yeah. I mean, as we already talked about with those first few losses, special teams has been a struggle for the Blue Jackets this season already. I mean, it's not been great the past few seasons, but it's 100% been the cause of more than one loss this year already. And that sucks. I mean, at one point, I gotta feel bad for the guys out there sometimes because there was a power play and they had one last opportunity to get down the ice. The seconds were running out. Puck gets bobbled. The penalty, runs out. The fans were not happy.
Yeah.
At that point, since it was like was that the third power play the Blue Jackets had, I think, and the everyone was getting kind of testy. They're like, "Come on!" What I noticed, and just to try to make it as plainly simple as possible, is the Blue Jackets don't seem to play like they have an extra man when they have the extra man. And what I mean by that is they're hanging a guy back so long that it's not giving them an advantage. So then what happens is as soon as that guy comes up, when they're not given an advantage, and then the puck gets cleared out, now everyone's turning around. Everyone's turning to the backs of the offensive zone and having to skate just straight back and getting beat. And we see this time and time again. We've talked about it with certain defensemen. We've talked about it with certain players. That does not come down to personal player skill. That comes down to player positioning.
Mhm.
And at that point, I mean, so like you can see that they do when they're on the penalty kill. The Blue Jackets do like one of the most popular systems in NHL and in hockey in general, and they play like that diamond formation, like one up top, two in the middle, and one back, kind of like near the goal.
Yeah.
And in general, it looks like they start out doing that well, and then they just reach a little too far. They just poke a little bit too hard, and the restraint is not shown enough because when you are desperate for a win, when you want so hard for something, and that's the only thing, like you can lose focus on that goal. If you're stressing so hard about that one thing, you can literally lose focus on it because you're like, oh, I gotta get every puck, I got this now. You do. You have to get there. You have to get the things first. But when you're in a position like that, you're trying to play a possession game or a stop them from shooting game, and they just can't stop players from shooting. They don't know how. So this just leads to on the penalty kill, the puck getting shoved through, and on the power play, getting beat back. I thought for sure that the Devils were going to get a shorthanded point there for a second because they looked like a full team out there against 5 players. That's 4. So, I'm not trying to lecture anyone here, but like shit, dude. Like that's one of the biggest things we talked about preseason yet too, and probably one of the biggest things that was worked on in camp. So we got to start looking at the root cause of the problem, or a shift in mindset, a shift in tactics. Something's not working right, and it might just take a little bit of time, sure, but there's so many guys that are on this team that were on this team last year too, that gel should be there a little bit better, in my opinion. So that's kind of most of what I have to say for the first game. Other than I do think that what Fantilli hook, one of the hooks that game was like really like
Yeah.
barely even touched him. I don't know how that was a hooking call, and then of course a goal happens because of it. But I mean, you can't blame refs. You have to win without them. Like, just gotta score more than the other team, I guess. If you're not going to be able to stop them.
Yeah.
So anyway, not to dwell on the loss a whole bunch and to rip on them a whole bunch. It sucks. I mean, I'm sure they're as critical of themselves as anyone. I know how I am with my work. I'm my harshest critic.
That's
But
right. So
the next game was
yeah.
not much better.
So then the following game they play against Colorado, and it's basically kind of a similar story what happened with the Devils. The slight difference is they did not give up. Neither team scored in the first period. So like there was that. But the Blue Jackets had a good competitive first period where they looked really good there. And in the second period, they start off good. They get a goal from Ivan Provorov. So that was good. And then it went down the pooper after that, where it's just blah. And they have, when the Blue Jackets have fallen into this trap so far, which is there's times that they're just trying too hard. They're looking for the perfect play, too cutesy. They're trying to be too cute instead of just put the puck on net. Put the puck on net. Because when you look at the goals that Colorado scored, it was just work your ass off, grind it out, put the puck on net. Because Colorado was playing really good defense. They were giving the Blue Jackets not a lot to shoot at. And when you do that, you can't, screw around and be pretty and look for the perfect play and everything, because that plays right into their hands. They want that because then it gets picked off, it goes the other way, and then whatever offensive momentum you had is gone. When you play a team like that, where they're playing so good defensively, tight checking, and they're not giving you a lot to shoot at, you need to just take what the defense gives you. They say that in football a lot. It's a cliche. Take what the defense gives you. But it's true. Like, I'll just take the most recent Bengals game against the Steelers. I watched some of that. And if you play the Bengals, you know that they like to take deep shots. They like to throw deep balls to like Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. They're two good receivers. So a lot of times teams, they'll take the deep ball away by having some guys back, and that takes the deep ball away. So when you do that, what does it leave open? It leaves open the small yardage stuff that's right in the short yardage game, that stuff right in front of you. So a good chunk of that game, what did the Bengals do? They took what the defense gave them, and they had a lot of short yardage pass plays, quick passes here, there, boom, 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 and just beat the Steelers that way. And just destroy them with short yardage plays where you throw a quick pass here, quick pass there, and then one of the Bengals receivers, they'd catch it, and then instead of like a 5-yard gain, they'd catch it, and now it's like a 10-yard gain or 20 big gains like that. That's what you have to do. It's a similar thing in hockey. When you have to take what the defense gives you. And Colorado was playing a real tight checking game. They were not giving you a lot to shoot at. And the stuff that they were giving you, take it. The Blue Jackets were trying to be fancy plays, cross-ice passes and everything, trying to put it where it's not, and that was getting picked off. There were some spots that so what that means is you take what you can, shoot, and the way you break that down is what Colorado did, how they scored their goals. It's just shoot, put the puck on net, and when you do that, it gets the defense moving. They're scrambling, and now you have open spots to make plays, pass the puck, get the defense scrambling, and then you score goals off of that. And that's what Colorado did. The Blue Jackets were trying to be too fancy with that, and it just didn't really work. It just didn't. Now, the third period was a much better period. They played better, but still not good enough, and they lose. And Ultimately, after the game, Dean Evison called him out and said, paraphrasing it, but basically they were soft and they need to be better, which was true. That was like a 2 out of 10 game for me. Mostly bad, some good stuff, but mostly bad. And it just needed to be better. You need it when you're playing teams that play tight checking defense and are not really giving you much to shoot at. The stuff that they do give you, you need to take what the defense gives you and shoot it. And then that way you break down the defensive coverage. And that's when you can start playing around with the puck and do the fancy plays, because the defense will be scrambling, trying to put a stop to it. They're not necessarily focused on good positioning and everything. And that's when you take advantage of it. Not when they're not giving you much to shoot at. You need to just, if they're not giving you much to shoot at, you need to just start shooting pucks, get them moving, then you can take advantage of it. So overall, not a very good game there.
No, that was like pretty awful overall. Couple good things I will point out.
Yeah.
I actually don't know if it's any better or not, but they didn't really give them many power plays.
No.
And the one they gave them, they shut down, and Colorado did not score on it. But they got score on 5v5,
Screen
3
in
times
front.
in
None of
a
those
very
goals
short amount of time.
None of those goals were Elvis Merzlikins' fault. He couldn't see it. And that's another thing, is like, you're not helping your goalie out when he can't see it. Get guys out and clear some space, box him out, get him away from the goalie so he can actually, so Elvis Merzlikins can actually see it.
Yeah, I mean, Merzlikins had a 914 save percentage this game. He was the third star of the game, according to the NHL.com game center. He did well. He did his job. He showed up to work, clocked in, did what he was supposed to do. And the people that were around him let him down some. Not to say that the defense wasn't trying. They did have 20 block shots to 14. Face-offs for the Blue Jackets have been pretty good so far, but they cannot keep letting teams shoot like 13 more shots than they're taking themselves. That was another big downfall for the Blue Jackets in this one, not being able to rip shots at themselves. Just, great job on not getting in the penalty box. Great job on scoring first. Bad job on closing out the game. And once they slip that one time, it's like the floodgates open, and then you can't be on your heels against Cale Makar. You're gonna get burned at 10 times out of 10 as one of the single best players in the NHL, and you blew it.
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of mean, but you know what I mean, man. It's just it's rough to see, because I feel like the Blue Jackets are better than that. They're coached better than that. It's just the thing about everything. You can have the most perfect coach and everything in the world, when it comes down to those playmaking, those moments, everything happens on the ice so fast. That's why mistakes happen. Some of the best players in the world, mistakes are still gonna happen no matter what team you are. It just sucks that the 4-1 loss early on. Anyway, let's talk about the one good game we had.
Yeah, because I did say that when I
get kind of sad.
Hefty Duck, because I've been thinking about this, because I did say this when I saw you after we were at the home opener after the game when we lost, when the Blue Jackets lost, and it's like, damn it, this sucks. But
and one podcast, damn it.
yeah, and it's like, man, and we took a picture, we all said our goodbyes, we all left, went our separate ways, and before we did that, I said to you, man, I just hope that we have a win to talk about on the next show.
Right.
And hey, we do. I got my wish. The Blue Jackets gave us a win, so we have that. So thank you, Blue Jackets, for doing that. Shout out to the Blue Jackets for getting a win there. So we have a good game to talk about. So The Blue Jackets played the Tampa Bay Lightning this past Saturday, and they beat them 3-2. Good game by the Blue Jackets. And this is the type of game that they need to play. When you look at the 2 wins that they've gotten so far this season, at Minnesota and against the Tampa Bay Lightning, there's 2 things that those games have in common, which is this. In those wins, the Blue Jackets play a very simple, straightforward approach, which is north-south, aggressive, grind it out, put pucks on net. No cutesy stuff. When you do that, things are awesome. The Blue Jackets, they can do it where you can do some cutesy stuff and make the fancy play and everything. They can do that. They have the guys to do that. But they're not like one of those teams where they can just exclusively do that.
You can't force it.
No, they can't.
There's time and place.
No, there's a time and place for it. They can't force it. Some teams can get away with that more often. The Blue Jackets cannot do that.
Yeah.
Where they are right now, they have to be one of those teams that is just aggressive, forecheck, grind it out, and just work your ass off. And north-south and just put pucks on net. And if you don't score there, go get the puck again, work your ass off, and put the puck on net again. That's the type of team that they have to be. And in those wins against Minnesota and against the Tampa Bay Lightning, that's exactly what they did. Pucks on net, aggressive, grind it out, work your ass off. And that's what they did against Minnesota. That's what they did from the start against the Tampa Bay Lightning. You know, the first period, that was, let's say, 8 out of 10, because you do give up 2 goals there, but you did get a good goal there from Kent Johnson. That was a goal where everyone contributed to that. Everyone worked their ass off there. You get, it's a play up. It's a play up high. You have a couple passes. It gets to Boone Jenner. He shoots it. Goalie makes a save. Kent Johnson's right in front of the net, and a nice little little backhand, forehand, shoots and scores. Awesome effort. Everyone earned that goal there. Then you get a goal. You think you have a goal from Voronkov. It gets called due to offsides. It's stupid, but I get it. It was offsides, but still stupid. And then in the third period, you get about a little over a minute in the third period, you get a big goal from Kirill Marchenko. And again, it was just simple, straightforward. It's get the puck into the offensive zone, couple passes, boom, 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 work your ass off, goes to Marchenko, shoot, score. That's how it has to be. From here on out, for this season, that's how it has to be for the Blue Jackets. When they have to work their ass off, it has to be simple, straightforward, aggressive, grind it out. That's how it has to be. A perfect example of this is look at what Kirill Marchenko and Dmitry Voronkov and Sean Monahan do every single time they're out on the ice. When they're out on the ice, more likely than not, the Blue Jackets have the puck in the offensive zone, and they are dominating. They are putting the pressure on. You saw that from what Adam Fantilli, Kent Johnson, and Boone Jenner were doing too. When they had the puck, that's what they were doing. They continued that positive momentum they had from last season when they were really good, and they're continuing into this season. That's what it has to be for the rest of the season for the Blue Jackets. It needs to be aggressive, work your ass off, pucks on net, shoot it, grind it out. That's what it has to be. If you play like that, game in, game out, you're going to be fine. You're going to win games. So overall, that was a good game for the Blue Jackets. Definitely one of the best ones they played so far all season. 8 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I mean, there's definitely some things in here that they could work on. Overall, pretty good game. Obviously, they won too, and I believe was it Kirill Marchenko who got the donkey hat? Cool.
Yeah.
We'll probably talk about that here in a little bit yet too. I mean, you said pretty much everything that I would have talked about at this point too. Given that the power play goal sucked, that's gonna happen, I guess. You just have to stay out of the box. Have to stay out of the box. Now, this game was full of penalties. This was crazy. There was in the first at 101, there was 6 minutes of penalties right off the rip of the game to JJ Moser for roughing Jenner, Voronkov for roughing Holmberg, Jenner for roughing Mosier. And then a little while later, Matthew Olivier and Curtis Douglas took to the ice. There were a little bit of a tussle there, and it was like Spit and Chicklets had posted something about like Matthew Olivier got that dog in him, and Olivier took him down when he wanted to. People are saying that Curtis Douglas won because he landed more shots in there. And while I do see more shots landing, he's got a longer reach. Olivier still controlled the fight, and he took him down when he wanted to.
Yeah.
It was easy. As soon as he was like, all right, I can't match your reach, he's like, I'm taking you down. We're ending this. I'm taking control. So I feel like the winner is the one who has the control. And a lot of people agree with that. Like the takedown there was super impressive. And then Tampa Bay got 2 minutes for too many men on the ice. What a bunch of goofs. Our old friend Oliver Bjorkstrand got hooked by Silly to get a little penalty there, and that was the penalty, the power play that the Lightning scored on. More penalties out the ass for both teams, though. At least it was both teams. Jenner slashing for against Finley. Lilleberg got a high stick against Chinikov, and so then there's something I want to talk about here real quick. I'm just going to go over these penalties. It's something to note because there's so many. Both Fantilli and Gensel got 2 minutes for roughing on each other. It's whatever. Hagel got a unsportsmanlike conduct at the end of the game against Matthew Olivier. This is like a 20-minute mark. So like after the game happened, there's a bit rough housing on the ice. It happens sometimes, especially between these two teams. Some people might not realize it or notice it, but there's history between these two teams. Obviously, it goes back pretty long. We all know what it is, but there's some bad blood there, division rivals or whatever. It's just the way it's gonna be.
It goes back to it just goes back to when it really started when the Blue Jackets knocked them out of the playoffs in 2019 and just smoked that ass and just destroyed them because the Lightning that season they were. Yep, there's the towel. It's time. That's the rally towel they gave up. They gave away at that series. I have one too, and it was really that time because that season the Lightning were really like the talk of the town. They were like the best of the best, and everyone
won the trophy that year.
Yep. So like they were the talk of the town, and everyone was talking about them. Oh, look at the Lightning! They're playing awesome. They're having a good season. They have 62 wins, 128 points. They won the President's Trophy. They got this. They got that, and like they should be. They made the playoffs. Oh, they're having a good season. And, they should be one of those teams that's fighting for a Stanley Cup. And that didn't happen because they got smoked by the Blue Jackets. And ever since that happened, essentially, they kind of got made fun of a lot and got a lot of they were the butt of jokes and embarrassment and oh my God, what happened to the Lightning? They had this good season and then they got swept. And the Blue Jackets destroyed them and this and that and and all this other stuff. And I do think that they've had a little, hatred for the Blue Jackets because of that, because realistically that season that they had, that was one of their best chances to get a Stanley Cup and they couldn't get it done. And they were so embarrassed by what the Blue Jackets did that series that they made big time changes to their team so that something like that would never happen again. so that they would never just get smoked and just pushed around and bullied, because that's essentially what the Blue Jackets did, is that the Blue Jackets found a weakness, which is, yes, the Lightning were a very good team, very skilled offensively and defensively, but if there's one thing in hockey that you cannot have, is that you can't be a wimp. You cannot be, if a team finds out that we can push you around, we can bully you, and we can just destroy you with physicality and speed and just grind it out and just beat you that way, and then because you can't handle that physicality and that toughness and that grinded out attitude, you will make dumb mistakes and will capitalize on it. That's how the Blue Jackets did it, is that under John Tortorella, the one thing you could always count on is that the Blue Jackets were going to be a hard, physical team that grinds it out, and it was a pain in the ass to play against with their toughness and their skill and their speed. If you couldn't handle that physicality and that toughness, you against the Blue Jackets, you were screwed. And that's what happened. They exploited the Lightning's inability to handle a fast, tough, physical, grinded out style. They were out just like that. And so the Lightning made changes so that to play better against that style. They played the Blue Jackets again the following year. They knocked them out. And ever since then, you've never heard a story about the Lightning just getting pushed around and bullied like that, because they're much better suited to play against that style. It's never happened like that. And so between those two playoff series, and heck, even after that, the Blue Jackets have had some good competitive regular season games against them, and it's been like that too. I just don't think that the Lightning really like the Blue Jackets, and it shows when they play the Blue Jackets.
Right. So to add on to this about the game, something happened in the game that once again people online were talking about. There was a little bit of disagreement when it came to people thinking that at one point Jake Gensel was slew-footed and there should have been a penalty called. I don't have the replay for you, but I can describe kind of what happened. So as they're heading to the goal, so it gets the puck and attempts a shot, and it kind of glanced around, and as Merzlikins fell on the puck with his glove, he had it under his glove. After the puck was under the glove, as they were moving through, was it Voronkov that he did kind of grab him a bit. That was more towards the end of it, and then they ended up falling over, and people are saying that because Voronkov's leg was behind him, it was a slew foot. I don't know 100% the rules in and out like an expert, like a ref would or anything. It happened right in front of the refs. The replays were there. Nothing was called. Now, some people are upset. Tampa Bay fans are upset that there was no call. And Jake Gensel himself was extremely upset to the point where he took his stick, hit it against the goalpost that Elvis Merzlikins was still in the goal after the play was blown dead, and then skated up the ice about 20 feet or so, holding said broken stick in his hand before throwing it at the ground, where it bounced up a good 4 or 5 feet back up into the air. While the fall looked scary and could have been dangerous, there was no injury on the play. The fall happened kind of after the puck was covered, so it did not affect the play or what was happening. Voronkov was crowding him. Maybe he was grabbing him a bit. That maybe could have been called that, like holding or something. But once again, he was reaching in for the puck. They were playing the puck. Voronkov was playing the puck with his stick hand. So, like, that's why it wasn't a slew foot. That's why it wasn't a penalty. And then to top it all off, you break a stick while there's a goalie in the goal against the goal. What? I get that you're frustrated. I get that you're mad. But how is that not unsportsmanlike conduct? Like, I think it's ridiculous when anyone does it for whatever reason, but when there's a player present in said goal where the end of that stick went flying towards, man, that's some kind of stupid. And then chucking it around the ice like that, man, grow up. It sucks. Of all people, I totally understand being, heavily emotionally involved in a game. I get it. But I'm not sure. Like, yeah, they could have called a penalty there, possibly on Voronkov, but I'm not sure why that was not some sort of penalty. That was dangerous on the ice. I mean, just stupid. Because it was not a result of a play. It was not a result of someone playing hard or hitting someone into the boards while playing. This was happened after the play was dead, and he's throwing around broken wood on the ice.
Yeah.
That's kind of a bitch move.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that's about all I have to say on that. Great win by the Blue Jackets.
Right.
Fantastic turnout. Love Matthew Olivier. Always sticking up for the team. Always sticking up for himself.
Good fight.
Giving the fans, always giving the fans something to cheer about, whether he's doing good things on the ice with the puck or winning fights out there.
Yeah.
Probably, I mean, the most dangerous fighter in the NHL right now. I mean, obviously, Curtis Douglas held his own there. I do think that he did well in that fight.
He did.
And that had Voronkov not been able to take him down, he had the reach on him. That's one thing that you can't, no matter how skilled you are, he's got the reach on you. And if he can hold you out far enough, I mean, Olivier's no slouch, but he knows what to do. That's about most of what I have on this game. The Blue Jackets held the Tampa Bay Lightning to 24 shots. That was a huge part of why they won this game. They won 57% of the faceoffs. Huge part of why they won this game.
The right, look, small sample size and everything, but so far, getting Charlie Coyle and Isaac Lundestrom into offseason is really making a big difference for the Blue Jackets' third and fourth line. It really is making that much of a difference because, and I know the penalty kill at times has been an issue so far, but there have been times when it has been good, and when it has been good, a big reason why is because of Charlie Coyle and Isaac Lundestrom. They're really making the difference there. You know, you're getting good, a little mostly defense, good at face-offs, a little penalty killing, getting some little offensive contributions where they look good. But what really stands out from Charlie Coyle and Isaac Lundestrom so far is that they're really making the third and fourth line so much better and getting good contributions from them from face-offs and defense and penalty killing. Really making a difference so far. Right now, it's looking like getting those guys in the offseason was a good move.
Yeah. And so here I have a little bit. This is a hockey stat cards at hockey stat cards on X Twitter.
Yeah.
They put these stat cards together, and it's a pretty neat way to look at the information laid out. You can kind of see who contributed a lot more to a game. The stats don't tell everything by any means. Players are going to make mistakes, but what all you need to know if you're looking at this graph is that the longer the bar on the right side, the better the player did, and the longer on the left side, the worse they did. Now, there's a couple of things, like when we look at Yegor Chinikov, for example, his team offense and team defense was below average, but his individual offense and individual defense was pretty solid, actually.
Yeah.
It was pretty high up there comparing to the rest of some of the other players. Looks like the Voronkov, Jenner, Fantilli, Sillinger had a little bit below individual defense there. Of course, as many times it is, Zach Werenski came out ahead in this game. He had the best performance. Severson, great showing by Severson, and the fact that there's the two defensemen at the top of this list is pretty cool. Followed up then by forwards. Matthew Olivier did a fantastic. Marchenko, but then here we got Charlie Coyle putting in the work too. I'm a big fan of these pickups. We talked about it at first too. Experienced guys. They seem to be working out pretty well. I'm pretty happy with what's going on. Something that I'm not super happy that's going on, that I don't want to sit here and I always say this. I don't want to sit here and just like dog on someone super hard, but there's two players on the Blue Jackets that are searching for their first points. And it's a bit of a surprise to me that these are the two players looking for those points. Of course, there's other people who haven't scored any yet, but last season, Sean Monahan was on like a point and a third per game pace at one point or something like that. And 5 games, no points, no assists or anything, and he's playing on a great line. He's played a lot of minutes. That doesn't tell the full story. There's still other things you can do on the ice, pulling people out of position, so on and so forth. Creating hits, creating chances. It is what it is. Then Dante Fabro too, sitting there with no points yet. He was a big part of the defense last year for the Blue Jackets as this year. That's a little bit rough. So we're only 5 games in this season. It's not report card time yet by any means, but just something to note. Be looking for them to come out swinging these next few games. I can imagine Monahan's hungry for some goals, waiting for it. Another thing I want to talk about from this first couple of games too is the goaltending. The Blue Jackets goaltending so far has been excellent. This is not the reason why they're losing games. There's been a couple goals that were kind of flubbed that should have been stopped. Sure. You're not going to stop every single one, especially when you let the other team take 13 more shots than you. But so far, Jet Greaves, 3 games played, 3 games started, 1 win, 2 losses, 6 goals against in 83 shots. That gives him a .928 save percentage. So it's a small sample size. We'll see how that goes. But that's pretty good. That is a really good save percentage for where the NHL is at right now. Elvis Merzlikins also coming up. 2 games played, 2 games started, 1 win, 1 loss. He's 1-1. 7 goals against in 87 shots, giving him a .920 save percentage. He's got a little bit more goals against average than Jet Greaves, but it's small sample size. Those games kind of got away from the Blue Jackets too. Why Merzlikins has 7 goals against him.
I'm not.
Probably 3 of those are kind of his fault.
I'm not any of the goals that got scored on Merzlikins. I'm not blaming it on him because the first 4 were in Minnesota when the Blue Jackets couldn't just stop not getting, or they couldn't just stop not getting in their own way by doing just stupid penalty after stupid penalty, where Elvis Merzlikins was getting scored on because he was getting hung out to dry, when you're leaving Matt Boldy and Kirill Kaprizov, 2 of the best players on the Wild, wide open. You can't do that. You're
the
playing
highest paid player in the game. There's a reason he's the highest paid player in the game.
Yeah. If you are playing the Minnesota Wild under any circumstance, you cannot leave Matt Boldy or Kirill Kaprizov wide open. Under any circumstance, you cannot do that, because if you do, you're going to get scored on, and that's what happened. So, and then the other power play goal he gave up again because hung out to dry. So, all those 4 goals, not really his fault. I'm not blaming that on him. And then, the 3 goals he gave up against Colorado, I'm not blaming that on him either, because all 3 of them, he couldn't see it. The first one is Cale Makar, and he's screened. He can't see it. He gets scored on. The second one is he's screened, and it's a deflection, so he can't see that. And then the other one, he got hung out to dry. So right now, he's given up, 7 goals, but that's not his fault. I'm not blaming it on him. I'm the same way. Well, I would say one. There's one goal I would say, okay, Jet Greaves should have had that one. And that was the first goal he gave up against Tampa Bay where the puck kind of like bounces off the glove and goes in. That's when you should have had there. But other than that, I'm not blaming you. There's really one goal that I'm looking at that I should, okay, you should have had that one. Every other one, it's like, it's not really their fault. It's the team not playing a good defense in front of them and doing stupid stuff and hanging them out to dry. So the goaltending has been really good so far. And the Blue Jackets need that because we've talked about this on the show. We know Jet Greaves can be good. He's shown it. But it's a small sample size. He hasn't played a lot of games. We don't know if he can do a full 82 games schedule and play good consistently. We don't know how he's going to handle when teams start figuring him out. The book's out on him. You can go back and watch the tape and figure out, okay, what's Jet Greaves good at? What's he bad at? Here's how you shoot on him. How do you counter that? Some guys can't. They figure out the book on you, and you suck, and you're out of the league in like a year or two because people figured you out. And on the flip side of that, people figure you out, and you're able to counter that. So, like, that's the thing. We just don't know about Jet Greaves yet. Maybe he can do it. Maybe he can't. Elvis Merzlikins. We know he can be a good goalie. He's shown it time and time again. There's games that the Blue Jackets have won because of Elvis Merzlikins where he's just that good and he just takes over the game. He makes big saves, keeps the Blue Jackets in the game, and they win it. The outdoor game was a perfect example of that. He made some big saves, kept the Blue Jackets in the game to where the Blue Jackets are able to get going, find their game, score some big goals, and win. There's other games where he's won too because the Blue Jackets have won because of that as well. But what's Elvis Merzlikins' issue? He's not consistent. Sometimes he sucks and he's bad. Sometimes he's good. And we need more consistency. So there's issues both ways with Jet Greaves and Elvis Merzlikins. So it's good we're getting good goaltending right now. And we need the Blue Jackets. We need that to keep going. We really need that to keep going. And so far, so good. Just try your best and just keep going.
Yeah, it's been great. Another thing that's been great, or it's been pretty good this year. I love watching him play. Is Denton Matejchuk. He's looking good out there. I like to see him. He's a young and up and comer. He's 21 years old. Same age as Fantilli, but obviously defenseman. And he's working his way up through the ranks, looking good. He is the tied with Fantilli for youngest player on the team. So just wanted to point it out. If kind of we're pointing out some other not so great things. But there was one player who has shined above the rest.
Mm-hmm.
And Kevin has a nice slide here for us.
Yes.
And many of you probably already have guessed. It is the one and only Kirill Marchenko.
Yes.
The
So
himself.
Yeah. So Kirill Marchenko, he's 5 games in, small sample size, but he's played really, 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 really good, and he has really stepped it up to a whole new level to the point where I know he's a good player. I know he's shown that he can be a good player, but I did not think he would be this good going into the season, this quick, this fast, because Kirill Marchenko has done something that no other player in Blue Jackets history has been able to do, which is this. Kirill Marchenko is the first player in Blue Jackets history to score 5 goals in his first 5 games to start the season. That is ridiculous. That's ridiculously good. Kirill Marchenko, so good, ridiculously good, has stepped it up to a whole new level. You get the hat trick in Minnesota. You get you get the goal against New Jersey on a breakaway where you just cook Jack Hughes. That when you see that video on Twitter and you read the comment section, a good chunk of it, everyone is just ripping on Jack Hughes of the Devils for his very bad lackadaisical effort defensively. Where Jack Hughes, he's in the offensive zone and, la, 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 and, taking his time, thinking he can just read the play, take all day, and nope. Kirill Marchenko essentially just kind of ragdolls him, takes the puck away from him. He's on the breakaway, and he shoots and scores. So he just destroyed Jack Hughes here. He cooked him, and that was what most of the comment section was when you read that tweet about that goal. It's like, man, what was that effort from Jack Hughes? Or man, Kirill Marchenko cooked Jack Hughes there. And then the game against the Lightning, he gets another big goal. Just Kirill Marchenko, just wow, just played so good so far. 5 games in, he's really stepped it up, played really good, taken his game to a whole new level. And if this is what he's doing 5 games in, I'm just excited and interested to see what he's doing when it's like 20 games in, 30 games in, 40 games in, 50 games in. What's he going to do now? How is he going to build on this? Because he's played so good and he's just been so fun to watch. So Kirill Marchenko is the first player in Blue Jackets history to score 5 goals in his first 5 games to start the season. So keep going, Kirill Marchenko. You've been fun to watch.
Absolutely historical what he's been doing with the team. He didn't enter the league quite as young as Fantilli or Matejchuk, but once he got here, he took it by storm. I didn't know what to expect when this guy first came, but he's exceeded expectations every single time I've set expectations. I'm like, okay, so he'll probably be pretty good this year, and then he's literally up 1.2 points per game right now in the first 5 games. Stellar. Love to see it. But
Yeah.
well, we got a couple more little things to cover here before we get towards the end of the episode here. We got some jerseys. Do you want to talk about that?
We do, but before I get to that, I want to give a shout out to Damon Severson. He has been good this season. He really has been so good this season. He's really stepped it up. And most importantly, no stupid brain farts. It has not happened yet, because this has been a thing with Damon Severson, where he, for the most part, he is good, but then every so often it's just frustrating, and he'll just have a really stupid moment where he has a brain fart, and he does something that he shouldn't. He'll make a play when it's not there, force a puck where it shouldn't go, and then sometimes it ends up in the back of the net. And then it's just like, oh God, what was that? Like, what are you doing there, Damon Severson? Like, come on now. Like, just do better. Like, come on now. We know you have it in you. Just don't do that. We have not seen that. We have not seen the brain fart, which is good.
Yeah, he's becoming an older, more experienced player at this point. He is... Wow, why can't I find him suddenly? He's 31, so he's got a lot of experience out there. That really should be a time where, shouldn't panic, shouldn't have bad moments. It looks like he addressed some of the issues that we talked about before the season too, which was kind of being caught on your heels, getting beat as well, being caught a little bit too far up. That has happened.
Yeah.
Just with all the Blue Jackets in general this year. A couple games we talked about earlier when we were talking about the games and whatnot. But yeah, overall, pretty damn good. I like to see it.
And I honestly, we've talked about this before, but I honestly think he took to heart what Don Waddell and Dean Evison and everyone else from the Blue Jackets organization had to say to him going into this past off season, which is this: we like you. You're a good player. You've shown you can be a good player for us, but you need to be better, and you just need to be better. Because if you think about it, when the Blue Jackets were going on that heater towards the end of last season, fighting for a playoff spot and playing really good and winning games, who wasn't there? Damon Severson. And the reason why was this: because unfortunately, his brain farts got in the way, where his lapse of judgment, a defensive mistake, making a play that he shouldn't make that costs the Blue Jackets, where they get scored on or something like that. That's why he wasn't there. Because, yes, the Blue Jackets could have used a guy like that during that run there where they're going on a heater, winning games, fighting for a playoff spot. They absolutely could have used a guy like Damon Severson. But unfortunately, when you didn't have a lot of room for error there, you couldn't afford to give up a goal or two. That meant you can't play Damon Severson right now because you were afraid that, yes, there were good moments, but you were afraid that he was going to have a brain fart there and then do something stupid that was going to cost the Blue Jackets a goal. And I really do think that he took that to heart, that, like, you need to be better. And I think he's learned his lesson there, and he's been so much better. He's been so much better, played so much better, really good. And he's not come out of the lineup yet, and you've not seen him do a brain fart. And he's played really good defensively, and heck, even and offensively been good as well. Good skating, and he got a goal against the Lightning too. That was a big reason why they won that game. So overall, shout out to Damon Severson. Pretty good. Keep going.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Next up, we're going somewhere with this. So first, we're going to show the donkey hat that Kirill Marchenko got. So
yeah.
Kirill Marchenko was the donkey hat winner of the game. So here we go.
Oh, we don't have the sound here, but I think at the beginning of that, because they had given the donkey hat to that one girl battling the tumors, I believe, and I think that's who got to pass it on to the star of the game then.
Yep.
Which was Marchenko. looks like we got a new hat from last year, maybe.
I think that's still the same donkey hat. I think that's.
I thought the other one had more of a nose, but it could be.
I still think that's the same donkey.
Anyway,
that's besides the point.
Pretty cool though.
But so that's that's that. So so we're gonna let that video play one more time, and then we'll move on to the next thing, which is this, because we're going somewhere with this. Right. So, okay, so there's Marchenko, got the donkey hat. Okay. Okay, so next up we have different Big Ten logos with the mascots holding the hockey stick, and I think that's really cool, and which will then lead us into Big Ten hockey jerseys. So first things first, Notre Dame released a new logo that they're using for their hockey team. Of course, Notre Dame is the Fighting Irish. So here we have a leprechaun holding the hockey stick, and it's got skates on and a puck, and it's really cool, and I like this.
That is pretty dope. The hockey leprechaun. That's hilarious.
So there's that.
Pretty dope. Do you get the new uniform with that too?
Oh, I do. But before we get there, we gotta show where is it? No, right here. Okay, first up, Michigan State. There's a Spartan because Michigan State is the Spartans, and it is a Spartan with skates and hockey stick.
That's pretty dope. I don't know how it'd be skating in that skirt though. You think it'd be a little cold down there on the ice?
Yeah.
I know it's a Roman soldier's uniform, but
Yeah.
he do be wearing a skirt.
Yeah. So, next up, we got Wisconsin, and Wisconsin is the Badger, so you got a Badger holding a hockey stick.
I'm a huge fan of this one. This has such classic vibes written all over it. I mean, unlike with the Trojans, last one. Unlike with that looks like the mascot logo was like an afterthought. This looks like it was made with the hockey stick logo in mind.
Yeah,
I like how they have the CCM on the hockey stick too.
Yeah,
that's pretty funny.
So we got that. All right, so
Badgers.
That's right. Okay, so next up, I gotta find it so I can put it up on the screen. But let's see. We're gonna put this up. I gotta find it. So we put this up on the screen here. We're gonna go. Let's see. Goldie Gopher.
Sorry, what team did you say was coming up?
It's gonna be Minnesota.
Oh, right on.
It's gonna be Minnesota. So here we go. I'm gonna put this up on the screen. So there it is.
The Golden Gopher logo.
Gopher. It's a gopher. It's got skates on and a hockey stick and a puck.
Once again, mascot looks actually like it could be playing hockey as opposed to the Trojan. I don't know what it is about that logo that bothers me. I think it's the shape of the elbows and the knees. I know it's real specific, but there's something about it. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't like it.
Not feeling Michigan State Spartans there,
Yeah, I know that's all. I like the colors. I love the colors.
Yeah.
Anyway, but this Golden Gophers logo kicks ass. I mean, 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
Even if it's a 5.3 out of 10 on the website that you're looking at.
It's sportslogos.net.
Oh, right.
But no, I agree. This is definitely one of my favorite Big Ten logos. I just love the Gopher, and he's playing hockey with the skates on and the hockey stick and the puck. I just love it. I just love this Minnesota Golden Gophers logo.
Hell yeah.
And, hey, Big Ten, we're an Ohio sports themed show, so, got to give a shout out to Ohio State. So here we have Ohio State's mascot, Brutus, and he's wearing an Ohio State hockey jersey. He's got the skates and the pants and a hockey stick and a puck.
Pretty dope. I'm a big fan of almost all of the Brutus logos out there. He's got kind of a mean look on his face here. But I do appreciate that he's actually like wearing gloves.
Yeah.
Looks like another real hockey logo.
Right.
Yeah, if they don't care about the hockey like they should.
Yeah, I know. That's a whole nother thing.
That's we could do a whole episode on that sometime.
Well, we kind of have to a certain extent,
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's that.
Summer's get slow.
Yeah. So those are some cool Big Ten hockey logos, and we're now going to move on to different Big Ten hockey jerseys. So we showed you Notre Dame's new hockey logo. Well, guess what? Notre Dame put that on a hockey jersey, and it's really cool.
Dude. I'll describe this real quick for our audio listeners out there. So it's a kind of an off-white. It's not like bleach white. It's a bit of an off-white, not cream, bit of an off-white jersey. The main colors on the jersey are going to be purple and green. So
it's blue.
Unfortunately, you didn't see the
It's blue.
Fighting Irish hockey logo earlier, if you're listening, but it is their typical leprechaun guy with holding a stick, looks like he's about to take a slap shot. The way he's holding that. And so all the green on here looks almost like iridescent because it's like a shiny stitching or a shiny fabric. Big fan. I think it looks cool as shit. Because then the purple is too. Now the white is not. It's kind of a little bit more matte, a little bit more plain in the background. But all the other colors on here, it looks like even like the yellow might be a little bit too. They got the green laces up in the neck. Oh, I love purple and green. It's one of my favorite things. Are their pants purple or their pants look blue?
So you got.
So it's the typical blue and gold that they normally wear.
It's blue.
I wonder if it's just for the photo. Huh. I'm curious
blue,
if they'll change.
Blue, but overall, we'll show other shots. So
that's a sick sweater. It's also got a little bit of like a collar popped up there too. If you notice, it's like instead of just like being kind of flat around the neck, it's like a little bit popped up around it, like just like a tiny bit.
Yeah, right there.
You see, you don't see that very often, unless that's the neck. No, that's just how it is.
Yeah. So you got that.
That's pretty neat. I would wear that, even though I'm not. Oh, and then the shamrock patches on the shoulders.
Yep.
They got a shamrock patch on the shorts.
Yeah.
That's all pretty dope. I'm not even really much of a Notre Dame fan, but I gotta give props are due here.
That's right. I have a little soft spot for Notre Dame because my grandpa Fowler was a big Notre Dame guy.
I get it.
There's that. There's another look. There's a blue, green, a little yellow, a little kind of slightly off shade of white. Oh, with the logo, I just love this.
Pretty. I will give this one. I mean, I'm a huge fan of everything. It would be a 9.5 if the shorts match the purple and the gloves too. The shorts and gloves are blue and gold. I get it. You know, you're still keeping true to your school colors and all that, but you know, it'd be neat if they were. Otherwise, I'd give it 9.5 or 10. I love it.
Yeah.
The one little thing, I'm being real picky here. The one little thing I don't particularly care for is the Under Armour patch being right dead center of the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I really think like I understand why companies want to put their logos like front and center like that all the time. Totally get it. But it would be kind of cool if it was maybe like on the back and the base of the neck. You know, just a little bit out of the way, keep that more of like a classic feel to the jersey. But yeah, just a personal opinion.
And Notre Dame, their football team wears really bright yellow helmets, kind of like a gold, and the hockey team.
Oh, yeah, shiny as fuck.
Yeah, they are very shiny, and the hockey team continues that tradition because very bright yellow, gold helmets.
Similar to what their football team did or does.
Yeah,
at one point.
They still do, but so so overall, this is a good look. I like this. I like this. Now, we're moving on to Wisconsin, and this is. I like this, but compared to Notre Dame, not as good. But it definitely has a more of an old school, classic look.
Oh yeah, this is borderline old school Detroit jersey, just reverse colored instead of it being like the white with the red lettering. The jersey's almost all red. You know, it's got 2 white stripes on either elbow, and then 2 white stripes around the waist with a red stripe in between them. Obviously, the jersey's red, and then just Wisconsin spelled out in those old school kind of the font I would call it. It's like a varsity lettering font, and all caps going like a sash down the jersey. Big fan of the classic designs like this. They're short, they're sweet, simple, to the point. I love the addition, the little stars on the back of the neck there. Looks like there's 6 stars there. Just a big fan of this overall. Looks pretty clean.
Yes. All right, so on to the next one. We've talked about these jerseys before, but I'm going to feature them again because I really like them. They are that good. Gotta pull this up on the screen here. Is Minnesota Golden Gophers. I really like these, especially the yellow with the old school gopher looking logo, and the more like the red outlined in the white with the red shoulders. And overall, this is a pretty good look here. I like this.
Yeah, big fan of the yellow with the Golden Gopher logo, but I'm also a big fan of the burgundy one there as well, with the yellow white stripes and the yellow M in the middle.
Yeah. Another thing I really like about this, and I'll pull this up so you can see it because there's a more zoomed in right here. Okay, so there's the logo, the old school looking Gopher logo. I really like that. That's a cool logo. But the thing I like in all three of those jerseys, it has like the little state outline of Minnesota right there. I really like that.
Hell yeah.
So that's cool. I like this one. Pretty cool. Ohio State, their home jersey is okay, but I think it needs to be better. I wish it was better. And I'll put it up on the screen so you can see it because it's too much red for me. We need some gray, need a little more white to help break up some of that red.
Yeah, maybe some like solid like the Ohio O patches on the shoulders even just to help break that up because that's like the biggest swath of red on there.
Yeah.
It's just and maybe you know how like the Blue Jackets have the well it kind of ruined the stripes on the elbows, but the Blue Jackets have like that one stripe kind of going across the chest and like down the sleeves. Yeah, you can see it on Kevin's jersey right there. And I like that. I do. It's just nice, maybe something like that. But overall, I mean, this is a really nice jersey.
Yeah.
I would wear this for a little bit cheaper than what it's selling right now, just because I don't quite pay attention to college hockey quite that much. But nice jersey overall. Just a lot of red.
Yeah, and
Scarlet. Sorry, I'm gonna get someone in the comments being like, "It's scarlet and gray."
They can suck it. I don't care. It's red. Whatever. Anyways, so I'm gonna put up on the screen what the jersey could be better, and it's what the football team has done, which is this. I'm going to put this up on the screen. So here we go. So just look how much better that is with the gray sleeves, how that just breaks things up and helps it better.
Yeah.
It's not so much red. You have the gray sleeves with the white outlined in the black, and it's just awesome. That's my favorite. Ohio State football jerseys, they do wear these sometimes, more of an alternate, but it's just better. You have red with like the gray sleeves with the white outlined in the black, and it helps break up some of the red. So like if you could have that on that jersey, it would just be so much better. And I'll bring it back up so you know what I'm talking about. So like that little thing where it's like black, white, red, if you could have some of that, just the gray sleeves from the football jersey and put that there, it'd be so much better, and it would help break up some of that red.
Yeah, maybe move the elbow stripes up to the biceps. That'd be kind of cool. You don't really see that too often. Usually it's mostly just around the elbows. Huh. Be neat.
So there's that. But this is not the best Ohio State hockey jersey. We've talked about this one before, but the hockey jersey that the Ohio State women's hockey team wore at their outdoor game at Wrigley Field this past season, just really good. Black jersey, red stripes, kind of that vintage white cream looking thing. And then it's got Ohio State's mascot Brutus on it, and It's a Buckeye leaves on the shoulder, an O, Ohio State O on the collar. Just awesome. But my favorite part about this is Brutus on the jersey.
Yeah, I know. Big fan of this jersey. I've said it multiple times. Just 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. There's nothing on it I don't like. I'm a big fan of like black on jerseys too.
Yeah.
Just because it's not super common. Obviously, if you look at my hat, you can tell I like the black and white logos. So big fan of the black.
Like, this is your best Ohio State hockey jersey. Ohio State, like you need to be wearing this all the time. That's just me though. So my favorite Ohio State hockey jersey is this. But anyways, so next up, Blue Jackets prospect Caden Lindstrom scored his first ever collegiate goal for Michigan State. And we're going to play that. So Michigan State is playing Boston University at Boston University. Michigan State is in the green. So here we go. We're going to play it, and then we'll explain it.
Too easy. Boston University has a Blue Jackets prospect of their own.
They do. It's a defenseman. Malte Voss. They got him in the draft this past offseason. So you'll see. I'm going to pause it so you can see. We'll back this up here. But Michigan State has their puck in the defensive zone. It's going to go to 29 over here. 29 is going to get it. And then he's just going to quickly just fire it down the ice. It's going to go to Caden Lindstrom. And then Caden Lindstrom's on a breakaway. And he's just going to shoot and score. Just an awesome quick bang play to get the goal there for Michigan State and Caden Lindstrom.
See, I do like this Spartans logo a little better, where it's just a helmet.
Yeah,
this is my opinion. I love the color green that they use though too.
Yeah,
but awesome to see some prospects out there doing well. I guess shout out to former Blue Jacket Gavin Brenly as well. He's been doing pretty well in the Avs. So he scored his first NHL goal earlier this year. Wish you were here, but I guess I get it.
Heck, even Michigan State's jersey, it kind of has that more classic look that I like. Got the classic letters, Michigan State, the shoulder patches, their Spartan logo, white letters, that kind of old school looking stripe. Like, I like this.
It's got that kind of like banner lettering at the bottom. You see a lot on like baseball jerseys, I guess.
Yeah.
Pretty dope.
Well,
what else you got here for us? We're getting.
So we got Jackson Smith. Well, first I'll put this. I want to share. This is what John Butchergross has to say about Caden Lindstrom. He said, Caden Lindstrom looked outstanding last night for MSU. He's a strong, sturdy player who has acceleration and grit, but also plays with the little things that matter, details. A great kid with bounce and energy. He's a winning kind of player. And yeah, if you think about it, you can see why the Blue Jackets picked him, because he's 6'4", like 220. He's big, physical, has a little speed to him, a little toughness, a little sturdiness, and he's a center. And if you can have a guy like a Caden Lindstrom and a Boone Jenner and a Sean Monahan and Adam Fantilli, maybe like an Isaac Lundestrom with the Luca Del Bebelouz as your center depth, that's pretty good. And I know Boone Jenner's a winger, but he can also play center. So if you can have that, that's pretty good center depth there. So John Butchergross is one of the top hockey experts out there. If he says something good about you, you know you're doing something good.
Hell yeah. Pretty all right.
Another picture of Caden Lindstrom, getting on the plane to go to Boston. So that's cool. Okay, then we got let's see, where Okay, we're gonna put this up on the screen. We have Blue Jackets prospect defenseman Jackson Smith. He had his first ever NHL goal, and we are going to put that up on the screen and play it. So here we go. Jackson Smith is number 7. It's a left-handed shot up high by the point, and it's a booming slap shot. He's just going to blow it past the goalie.
So I know it can be hard to cheer for Penn State for some of y'all out there, but you can at least cheer for a Blue Jackets prospect.
Yeah.
You can wish well for him while not wishing well for the Pens.
So as you'll see, we'll play it here, and then we'll play it again and show it on the replay, just how he just blows it past. All right, so starts below the goal line. Penn State passes it. It's going to go up here. Eventually going to get to Jackson Smith, and Jackson Smith is just going to blow it past the goalie.
Hell yeah.
And then let's see here. We're quickly going to put this up. Because I have another angle of that Jackson Smith goal that I'm going to play. Let's see, where is it?
Well, what else did you say you got? Sorry.
Yeah, okay. You know what? I'm gonna take that back. We're gonna save that for, it's another angle of the goal, but we're gonna save that for another time. I take that back. All right, so we have some action shots of Jackson Smith during the game. There he is right there. A little squirt of the water bottle. And look at that. There he is. And there he is right there. Another shot during the game.
Hell yeah. Nice little action shot. Looks like you can see them wearing those neck guards too that are now pretty popular. Well, it might be mandatory, I think. I don't blame them.
No. So. So. We'll put this up on the screen. Here we have Drew Sample, who plays for the Bengals. He was at the Blue Jackets game against the Lightning.
Nice. Well, that's good he got to see a win.
So, there,
pretty dope.
Yep, there is a little bit of a shot of the picture right there. So that is cool.
Those seats that he's in are like bigger and cushier than the other ones, and it still looks like a giant in them.
Well, he's a tight end, so that's why.
Yeah.
He's a big dude.
Oh,
So, so there's that. So let's see. Okay. Here we have. We'll put this up. We have another picture of Jackson Smith getting ready, going into the game. So there's that. We also have. We're gonna put this up there. Penn State posted a picture of Jackson Smith in his first ever puck, his first ever goal. He's got the puck. So there it is, right there. There's Jackson Smith with the puck from his first ever goal in college at Penn State.
hell yeah, nice.
It's pretty cool. There. So
Pretty cool.
it is very, very, very cool. So there, let's see here. There's that. I think that is one or two stuff. Just looking at my books. Okay, here it is. So here I found the other angle of Jackson Smith's goal. So we'll put that up on the screen here. So here it is. This is a good angle because you see where perfect angle where he just blows it by the goalie. So that's cool. Let's see here. What else do we have? That. Okay, so that's that. I think we have. Let's see. I got one more thing to share. Then we'll say our final stuff, and then we'll get out of here. So 21 Pilots, they had their song "The Contract" from their new album that came out back in September, has been submitted for consideration for Best Rock Song and Best Rock Performance at the 2026 Grammys. So just want to throw that out there. So that's cool. So shout out to 21 Pilots from Columbus. And they do good music, and they're big Blue Jackets fans. And if you want to listen to this song, here it is right there. You can go to YouTube and check it out on 21 Pilots YouTube channel, the song "The Contract." And it's a pretty good song. I like it, and I think you should check it out. And not going to play it for copyright reasons. So if you want to see it, go to 21 Pilots YouTube channel and check out their song, one of their hit songs from their new album Breach, with the song "The Contract." All right. So that's that. So we'll say our stuff, and then we'll get out of here. You can start off, Hefty Doc.
Sure. So don't forget to like, subscribe, share wherever you're watching from, whether you're on YouTube still or Twitter. We appreciate all of you watching live. Big shout out to our audio listeners. You guys have been coming in big these last few weeks, especially while we've been gearing up for the new season. If you want to listen on audio as well, you can find us anywhere podcasts are posted. Don't forget to check out some of my tattoo work. It's just my name. If you can see it down below, Lance Schrock. That's SCHROCK. Tattoos on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook if you really want to. I'm on Twitter. My link tree links to everything. Check it out. I've done a cool stinger tattoo not too long ago, and I think I have some more Blue Jackets themed tattoos coming up here in the future. So keep an eye out. Check it out. Come get tattooed. If you'd like to support the show, the best thing you can do, like I said, is just like, share, subscribe. Check out our YouTube. We are growing it. We've been getting quite a few new subscribers here lately, and I'd love to migrate mostly over there, but I'd like to make sure we have a pretty good following. Big shout out to our biggest crowd out there, which is Twitter. You guys have been great, and yeah, that's all I got.
All right. So for me, just as always, give a shout out to my awesome Uncle Doc, the best of the best. Wish you're still here so I can talk some hockey with you and see you at family parties and Thanksgiving and Christmas and Easter and so much more. The best of the best. Birthday parties, and so much more. So, wish you're still here so I could talk some hockey with you. You share your thoughts on how you think the Blackhawks are doing so far, because you're a big Blackhawks guy, and I could share my thoughts on how I think the Blue Jackets are doing this season so far. You became a big Blue Jackets guy as your number 2 team. You had a blue camo Blue Jackets hat that I gave you that you loved wearing, especially at your cooking job. You tell me the story about how your fellow cooking coworkers loved that Blue Jackets hat that you'd wear. Like, oh, what's that hat? And you'd be like, oh, it's a Blue Jackets hat. Hockey. My nephew gave it to me. They'd be like, oh yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So that loved you were a big blue, not only a Blackhawks guy, but you became a big Blue Jackets guy as well. I gave a shout out to you at the march that we just did on October 13th, 2025, before the Blue Jackets home opener. So, wish you're still here so I could talk hockey with you. You are loved and missed by so many people, your family and your friends, me, and so much more. So, shout out to my awesome Uncle Doc. Thank you for everything.
I was muted. Rest in peace, Uncle Doc.
Yes. And, like I always do, check out Union Blue Soldiers. Check out Union Blue Soldiers. Check out Union Blue Soldiers. Check out Union Blue Soldiers on all social media platforms. Check out Union Blue Soldiers. So that's, I'll just do it one more time. I said it earlier on in the show. Now, I take that back. I'm going to quickly put this up on the screen because this is fun. I'm going to Minnesota for a hockey game. So, October 26th, I'm going to be in Minnesota for the Wild versus the Sharks. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be cool. And I've been there 3 other times, and they're fun. The Wild have a fun place to see a game. So looking forward to going to Minnesota for a hockey game, seeing the Wild play the Sharks, and also looking forward to seeing Kirill Kaprizov play. Stud, one of the best players in hockey, the best player for the Minnesota Wild. Looking forward to see him play. So that's going to be cool. So I'm going to Minnesota. So that's going to be cool for a game. Going to see the Wild play the Sharks. Looking forward to that. I'll share some pictures from the game and my trip up to Minnesota on the next show. So, that's going to be cool. And one last time, a big thank you to everyone who came to the annual March of the Union Army hosted by the Union Blue Soldiers. We talked about it earlier on in the show. Such a fun time with Blue Jackets fans coming together to show support for the Blue Jackets Probably had about 50 to 100 people show up. It was a lot of fun. Marching on to Nationwide Arena to cheer on the Blue Jackets. Oh boy!
Oh shit! We got a
Hey,
last minute
Ian.
visitor. We got Ian Phillips here.
You know,
Hey, guys.
we'll stay on for just a bit more to have Ian's time, just so we can talk a little Blue Jackets with him.
Yeah, buddy.
Before we get there, before we get there, I just want to say one last time, a big thank you to everyone who came to the march this past Monday, October 13th, 2025, before the Blue Jackets home opener. A lot of fun. Shout out to Adam King from 10 TV. Thanks for coming, and thanks to everyone who came to the march. It was a lot of fun coming together, showing support for the Blue Jackets, marching on the Nationwide Arena to cheer on the Blue Jackets. So thank you to everyone who came to the march. It was a lot of fun.
Hell yeah!
All right. So we were going to stop the show, but Ian came in, so we'll be on here for a little bit more, so we can get his thoughts on some Blue Jackets related stuff here. So, Ian, 5 games in, your thoughts on the Blue Jackets so far this season?
Oh, lost him just as we asked this question. I'm sure he'll be back here soon, but just a little info on Ian Phillips real quick. He is the owner and president of Ohio Hockey Digest. Check him out at Ian Phillips _9 on Twitter, and he is back with us after that little shout out. How's it going, man?
Okay, so your thoughts on the Blue Jackets 5 games in?
Well, I mean, honestly, through those 5 games, there was only one game where the Blue Jackets were very, very clearly outplayed, and that was the Colorado game, as I'm sure you guys have discussed. I was listening to the car on my way back to OU, and I thought, if I get in time, I might just try to catch you guys at the end of the show. So thanks for having me again. And yeah, I mean, honestly, it took a while for some of the guys last year to heat up, and I think it'll be the same way this year. It's not anything that happened in the first couple of games. It's not anything that can't be fixed, especially when it comes to special teams, which at this point in the season, something like that being wrong is definitely a 5-alarm fire. But it's not any reason to be doubtful about the rest of the season or even start talking about Gavin McKenna. I've heard a lot of people start talking about, what would happen if the Blue Jackets tanked this year again for Gavin McKenna.
No.
And that honestly should not be on anybody's mind right now. It's a long season to go. They have a competitive team, and there's lots of reasons for optimism.
It'd be hard to beat the Sharks on that one anyway. I got no room to knock on anybody.
No, I agree with everything that Ian has said there. Overall, they played a pretty good game. They're all minus the game against Colorado. It was a pretty good game all around so far this season. The defense has been better. That was an issue. That's been better. They've scored. They've shown that they can. The goal offense is still good. They're scoring goals. You had a 7-goal game, and you got 3 last night, so it's still there. Kirill Marchenko, 5 goals in 5 games, first player in Blue Jackets history to do that. There's a lot to like so far. It's just been awesome.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Kirill Marchenko is a big part of that. Especially, I mean, I know you guys have talked about it, but through the first 5 games, he's looking like a top 20 NHL player. So I think there are a lot of reasons for optimism this year, and I think it's going to be a big growth step. I'm not saying they're going to win a Stanley Cup.
No,
it's not. It's a process, and they're further along in the process than most people think.
That's what it looks like in 5 games. Yeah. What do you think of the goaltending so far this season?
I think the goaltending is one of the brightest spots. I think Elvis, even through talking to him in the locker room, I think he's come in as a different player than he has in years past. And I think Jack Greaves is the goalie of the future. I think he's very similar to UC Saros in Nashville. I think in terms of play play style and obviously height. He's one of the shorter guys, and I'm really excited for him. He's a great hockey player. He's a great person to have in the locker room. The players love playing for him, and you'll notice that throughout the season. Those guys, you got to have a likable person in net to battle in front of, and Jack Greaves and Elvis Merzlikins definitely have those character traits. And I think if they can keep up this pace that they've started with, I think it'll be a really fun season.
I agree with that. That for the most part, they start off good and they look good, and then they kind of have that little brain fart moment there where it's kind of blah and it doesn't look very good, and sometimes that's hurt them. It's why they've lost the game. But then other times so far this season where they've kind of had that brain fart moment where they don't look very good and it's blah, they're able to fight back and get back in the game and not have that brain fart moment anymore and get back to what they're good at. So if they can continue that or get anywhere near that the entire season, I think they're going to be okay.
I think with the Colorado game, especially if that's what you're referring to, I think there were a lot of brain farts that went on in terms of, well, not only goaltending, but I mean the power play and PK, I think are two of the biggest reasons that game against Colorado was dropped. I think even that game where they played, they got outplayed. Dean Avison called it soft. I think even then that game was still winnable with only a few bounces. So goaltending, especially, I was worried about it going in. I'm not going to lie. Elvis's camp wasn't too impressive by any means. It wasn't. He didn't have a bad camp, but I just didn't know what to expect. I've been really impressed.
Yeah. So you obviously go to the games as part of the Columbus media and everything. So, like, is there something that you're seeing with the team so far that maybe other people aren't seeing, something you like, or just any other insight that you'd be able to share?
Well, I'm really feeling a different vibe this year in terms of culture. I think, I was there pretty much throughout the entire rebuild. I started covering the team in 2022, and at that point they were just really beginning, and I think this year the culture has been established and it's been set, and I think last year was so important in building the right mood around the locker room and around the rink, and I think now they've got that. Their leadership is exceptional this year, with Boone Jenner and Zach Werenski's really grown into his own sort of leader too, and they've got a lot of future leadership too in Adam Fantilli, and I think they've made the right decisions front office wise. They've drafted well. I think the Chinikov situation is something to keep an eye on, and something that you don't want getting in the way of what has been built. But other than that, all I'm seeing is really good things around Nationwide Arena.
And go ahead, After Doc. Go ahead.
So here's a little bit of maybe like a hot topic recently too. What do you make of the situation with Chinikov? What is going on here? Is he being held out a bit to keep him as a trade chip and keep him healthy? He's got 7 minutes of playing time in both games he's played. That's like nothing.
Yeah, well, the Chinikov situation is a little odd because obviously with front office, when they deal with stuff like that, they're not always very straightforward with media, and neither is
I don't blame him.
Igor, and I mean that's just how it goes in the NHL. So I don't have especially any huge insight into that I can share, but he fired his agent Shumi Bayev. Anything reasons, it's all speculation, really. I mean, I could go here and say what I think happened, but it's speculation. You don't really know what's going to happen. But what I can tell you is anytime he's in the lineup, he will be. It's not going to be a Pierre-Luc Dubois situation. He's still going to battle hard. He's still been here for a couple years, and he's been part of that process of rebuilding. He was a huge piece when Jarmo Kekalainen brought him in.
Yep.
And I think eventually, I do think that he will be traded. I do think he'll be traded before deadline, but that it's speculation, So that's all I can really say on that.
Well, there were 26 scouts up there on his first night that he played.
It was completely full, and one of the scouts that was there, I'm not even sure if I should be saying this, but one of the ones that wasn't listed in the press box was Jarmo Kekalainen, and he was obviously the one that drafted him when he came to Columbus, and it was kind of the big pick of that draft. That was a shock to many people. So Buffalo could be a place to keep in mind as the season goes forward. But I think really what Don Waddell is looking for is how his team is going to be looking towards December, and that would really dictate what they would bring back in return for Yegor Chinakhov, because he's a guy that has quite a bit of value. He has a really exceptionally hard shot. He's very skilled. He's shown that he can be that goal scorer, but it might take a change of scenery. And if that's what it's going to take, I have no doubt Don Waddell will get the deal done. He's not waiting out of stubbornness.
No.
He's seeing where his team is and what they would need.
Yeah, and I like what I've seen from Yegor Chinakhov when given the chance to play. Like I said, the dude can shoot the puck. He's really good at shooting the puck. Good shot, real good offensive talent, good skill. Last season started really good, 7 goals in his first 14 games. Played really good on that first line, and then he gets hurt, and that was essentially the end of that because he came back and it was okay. It's just like, at that point in time, you're not taking anyone off the top 6 to put him up there, so you're just kind of stuck playing third or fourth line minutes, and it is what it is, and that's where I'm at right now. It's like, where are you going to put him? Because you're not.
Yegor Chinakhov is not a third or fourth line player. He's a guy that has enough skill to play in the top 6, and if he can't be in the top 6, he doesn't fit into that role of third and fourth line. So it is something to take into consideration. And if it wasn't for the Miles Wood injury, I'm not sure when he would have found himself in the lineup. So
that's fair too. And I thought, okay, well, you're not going to take. Okay, right now, you're not taking anyone off the top 6 to put him up there right now. You're just not, and so it's like, less than ideal situation, but Chinakhov, when you do play, you're just going to play your best, show us what you got, and if you play good enough, maybe you can bump someone off one of those top 2 lines, and then play real good, and then don't let anyone take that spot. Or if not, I kind of agree with you there that I wouldn't be surprised if sometime down the road, if it's just a mutual agreement with both parties that say, you know what, thanks for everything, but we'll trade you. We'll find somewhere else that can use your skilled talent much better in a top 6 role that maybe you're probably not going to get here.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm going to head out. Thank you guys for having me. Appreciate hop on late. You guys have a good one.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, thanks, Ian. You have a good one, man.
You too.
So, okay, so let's try this again. Take 2, action. Hefty Duck said his stuff. Check out his tattoos and all the stuff on social media. And, I said thank you for coming to the march, so appreciate that. And, check out Union Blue Soldiers. Check out Union Blue Soldiers. Check out Union Blue Soldiers on all social media platforms. So check out Union Blue Soldiers. And thanks for coming to the march. So anyways, check out Union Blue Soldiers. Check out Union Blue Soldiers. So that's all I have to say. We'll get out of here, and then we'll see you next time.
Excellent. So we will be back here next week. We will be here on October 27th. That is next Monday. But we will air at the same time as usual, our 7 p.m. Eastern time. So keep an eye out for that. Hopefully we'll have another winner to talk about by then. In any case, thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, share, and we'll see ya.